Hello and welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands, our podcast about everything that's going on in the Falklands. I'm Karen Appett.
I'm Hannah Newton.
And I'm Paula Phones, and you're in charge this week.
I am in charge. This is very strange.
I know, no pressure.
I don't know if I'm ready for the responsibility, to be honest.
I know, well, we'll see. We'll see how many listeners we've got for this episode, and then we'll judge it on that.
That's what it'll be judged on.
Yeah, they might just leave. But we've had a busy week. We were out and about all day on Saturday. I think everyone was out filming something.
Yeah, God, it was a busy Saturday, wasn't it? Busy Saturday.
Yeah, very busy.
Yeah, everything was happening on Saturday. There were 6 things. We talked about this last week, though, didn't we? There were like 5 or 6 things happening on that day. They're all in this week's programme.
And we had our first experience of the old
we went to Fitzroy for the first
services,
time,
which was interesting, wasn't it? Because it starts at 11 and they go around 4 different memorial sites that are all within walking distance. And we had never been to the Fitzroy before, so we kind of hoped for the best.
Hoped for the best. Went down the road. We got there just as it had started.
Just in the nick.
Just in the nick of time.
But it's been good. It was a long old package we had for it, but it was nice.
It was nice how you did it. I have to say then, I don't think you've done Fitzroy until you've done Fitzroy in the snow. Am I right, Thomas?
I don't know, have I done Fitzroy?
Have you never done Fitzroy in the snow?
I don't know.
I did see some footage of it being done in the snow. It did not look nice.
No, it's not.
No, it looked miserable.
Especially going up, because you turn off the MPA road, and for me, because I'm a bit of a scaredy cat driver, it seemed to be a very steep downhill and uphill again.
Can I just add a mention in there? If you hear any crackling, it's Mr. Foam snuffing
Mr.
some
Foams
chocolate.
Yes.
Getting all the dairy milk.
No, don't give it anywhere near Carl. He's allergic to nuts.
I can have hazelnuts, it's fine. I'll be fine.
No, I don't. God, I'm not having that much.
I just sort of assumed.
Thank you.
It's mainly if I eat them. Anyway, whatever.
Don't forget Dan behind us as well. So we are here. Let's explain to the listener that our office is quite.
It's quite busy at the moment,
isn't it? It's more like a corridor than an office. We've got Dan McGill, who's just put some chocolate in his mouth at the one end. Yeah, he is. Mr. Foams, who's just walked in to give us some information. Thomas, who is busily
putting the show together.
Yeah, putting the show together over there.
It's a bit like a tube station, isn't
yes,
it? In
it
this
is.
office, we have guests coming in and
out and chatting
and all sorts.
It's all going on. Speaking of all going on, at the weekend the rugby happened as well, and Tom still has a hurt shoulder. He survived, surprisingly.
His wrist hurts.
Well, he's a bit of a wimp, to be honest. Let's be honest. He doesn't. He's just given me the dirtiest look possible, but I'm going to stand by that.
I will shout a mustard words and you have to do more editing.
But I'm going to stand by that statement. And then, moving on from that, on Monday we had the first meeting of the chess club.
Oh.
And that's the big topic this week.
Was
the chess
that
club.
exciting?
It was very exciting.
Right, let's just address a couple of things, because people may have seen my tweet, or any other tweet, or read the article which apparently is in Penguin News this week. I wanted all our chessboards to match, because I'm funny about things, and if we lost a piece, I could then make up a set. So I had to go on the hunt in Stanley for at least 5 chessboards.
And listen, it's very hard to find anything in Stanley.
Yeah.
It is.
Specific.
If you want to buy, I don't know, ordinary groceries, that's fine. But when it comes to specific things like that, there's only, it's not even a handful of places that sell stuff like that.
I was surprised you managed to get the amount of chessboards that you actually did.
It's funny, because I went into Falklands Farmers, which sells basically sort of work gear, wool, chicken feed, and
anything farmy
bits and
related,
pieces,
but also knitting wool.
Yeah.
And Kathy Bowles was in there, and she said, what are you looking for? And I said, I'm looking for some chessboards. And she said, you need to go to Saddle Direct. So we went to Saddle Direct, which is round the corner from Kelpers and that lot. And they only had one board on the shelf, but she assured me she had loads more in the container, so she went hunting for them. So we have 5 matching chessboards, and somebody on Twitter made a comment.
Yes, you got into a bit of a spat, didn't you?
No, I didn't, because I don't get involved in things like that. But I was just a bit annoyed that he sort of criticised, this bloke on Twitter criticised the look of our chessboards and called them puny Poundland.
But it's not to do with the gear, though, is it? It's actually more to do with the player. As long as you can play on it, what's the problem?
As long as you've got the pieces on the board.
Who needs a fancy pants board when you can play. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, listener, obviously down here in the Falklands, we're very much into plastic-free Stanley and, you know, the oceans and things like that, environment. These boards are all actually wood.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And not plastic.
Environmentally
But you had
conscious.
you had a really good turnout, didn't you, for your first
Yeah, it was
meet?
like 8 or 9 people there. I was
9
there.
people. I mean, what's that percentage of the Falklands population? Who's got a calculator?
God knows.
Sure.
1%, 10%, who knows?
That's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah, it
of
was.
Falklands.
Good turnout. I
Yeah.
lost
And
both the
mixed
matches I played.
abilities as well,
Mixed
wasn't
abilities.
it? Which
Mixed
is quite
abilities.
And it was good. There was one of the vets came over. He played you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes. He
Jake.
beat me thoroughly both times.
Yeah.
But I maintain that I didn't know how to play properly, so I didn't really lose. So
Yeah, you
He
found
did
some new rules,
No,
didn't you?
because the guy was doing some castling.
yeah,
You
castling,
went, you can't do that.
castling, and then he used his king to take one of my pieces, and I was like, "That's illegal," and he went, "No, it's not." And I went, "Oh, I've been
never
playing
played
chess
chess."
wrong."
Anyway,
For
that's
years
what
and
the
years
chess
and years.
club's all about, though, isn't it? It's
Yes.
to get better.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm a pretty
You were getting some
Poor.
coaching, wasn't you?
Yeah,
weren't
I'm a
you?
pretty poor player,
Yeah.
actually. And I was playing AD, who'd come from the Moral Farm. I was so pleased they came in, and he came in. And it was very clear, I think, within 10 minutes, when I actually put myself in check, that I was a bit awful. So he started talking about what he was thinking when he was about to make his move. And then that made me think. And then he'd say something like, "You could make a move here that would put me in very big
Jeopardy.
trouble." And I'd be going, "What is it?" Staring at this board, going, tell me what it is. I can't see it.
So when's your next chess club meet?
On Monday at 7:30 in the Malvina Bar again.
Paula's just, for the benefit of the tape,
checking-
Paula just checked the clock behind her to see if it will tell her what the time is
Yeah.
for the meet, although it's saying 2:30.
No, I was thinking
1:30.
what time it was because I've got to go to the doctors in a minute. So.
But before we let Paula go to the doctors, just because I've seen Thomas laughing about it in the corner, I got very wet this week.
Wet
'Cause-
and wild.
Wet and wild.
It's so good.
So the midwinter swim is coming up, and unfortunately, I'm no longer able to take part on the day.
What
So
it is, it's a tradition,
it's a
isn't
tradition
it, in the
down here.
islands? Every year,
Every year,
you go and jump into the sea when it's freezing cold, and you get a certificate of lunacy from the governor who
Yes.
says, "Well done, you've done a mad thing."
Yes, you've done a crazy thing of jumping into the ocean in the middle of winter.
Mm.
And so instead, I was like, oh, good, I won't have to do that now. And then Mrs. Foames and Tom were both like, no, we can do it on Monday. We'll go down to the beach and chuck you in the water.
It's a pre-midwinter
Yes,
swim.
a pre-midwinter
Well, we
swim.
need to plug it in some
Yes,
way.
we need to plug it.
But we've actually found, I forgot to say, over lunch we found a volunteer who is going to do the midwinter swim
Oh, really?
for us, so you and I can actually film them.
Who's this? Or is it secret?
It's a top secret.
Interesting.
You have to tune in to
Yes,
FITV
tune in and watch.
and find out who it is, but it's a tip-top secret man, so
Yes.
very exciting.
But anyway, I did it, went into the water, made a complete fool of myself, fell over, and then...
That was the best bit.
Yes,
That's
then,
hilarious.
which I then showed to everyone in the office, and they all laughed very, very hard at me.
Was it as cold as you thought it would be?
Yes, but then I got out and I was like, that wasn't as cold as I thought it would be. Like when you first get in, it's like, ah, God, and then
Yeah.
you get out of it and you're like, actually, it wasn't too bad.
See, I find it's the
But
feet. It's the feet
it's
that's the
the
hardest
feet.
bit. You
It's
get
the
the ice
stand-
block
yeah,
feet when
yeah.
you come out and you think, oh my God, I need to warm my feet
Yeah.
up.
So that little clip of you running is going to go at the end of the programme. Thomas,
And my little
you gonna see
Baywatch
that,
moment.
Yeah, with some little non-copyright
So tune
music over the
into
top.
this week's show
Tune
if you
in.
want to see Carl taking a dip
Ah,
to some nice music.
yes, some lovely, lovely music. So swiftly moving from that, I think Paula wanted to talk about Wonderweb. What is Wonderweb?
Oh, it's got me so crossed this week.
Okay,
Today in particular.
Can you tell we've had a very busy
yes,
news week?
Yeah.
very busy.
We're on Wonderweb.
I'm wearing a top that I won't mind saying was rather expensive for me. Bought from quite a nice shop. And it says it's dry clean only. And the hem at the bottom of it, they've put some kind of Wonderweb or you know, obviously other fusing
Yeah.
fabric is available, but it looks like it's done with Wonderweb. So I'm now going to have to sew that all up again, and I paid a lot of money for it. So I'm a bit cross about that that they didn't sew it properly in the first place.
Can I ask a question? What is Wonderweb? Because you've mentioned it a couple of
fusible.
times.
It's like a tape
Mm-hmm.
that melts under the iron.
Oh, so like kind of
for a
hot
hem,
gluey kind of thing.
Yeah, so for a hem, instead of sewing up the hem, you can put this tape along it and fold the fabric over and then iron it, and it sort of then melts as a bit of a glue. But it doesn't last forever because obviously in the wash it just disintegrates. It's not the best thing. Just sew it instead.
Yeah.
I've got another question. On a tangent now. I'm taking us on a tangent.
Take us on a tangent.
You went to Government House this week, didn't you? What
Yes,
was that?
I-
Yeah, what was that like?
That was last night. It was only
Yeah,
last
how
night.
was it?
It was Filipino Independence Day,
Mm-hmm.
which they did for the first time, I think, last year, because actually now Filipinos in the Falkland Islands
Yeah, there's quite a big
make up
population,
over,
isn't
it's
there?
over 2% of the population
Oh,
is
wow.
Filipino. Really nice, I have to say, out of all the receptions that we go to, because the chef at the Government House makes a real effort to make sort of like delicacies of that
Country.
country,
Yeah.
and just the food's nice anyway. And it was really, really good. Loads of people there. CBF was there. A couple of MLAs. I don't
That's
think
cool.
MLAs came last year.
And
Don't
what
remember.
is the history behind it?
Oh, good grief! I've no
Sorry,
idea.
I know. I'm wondering. I know, obviously, Filipino independence, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't know
What were they
anything
becoming
about
independent
Filipino
of?
history.
Well,
or-
Yeah.
listen to the programme next week. This Friday, because it'll say, I think it's 1898 and it's Spanish.
48.
1848.
It's Tom.
That was
Quick collection.
1898. And it's the independence from the Spanish.
I never even knew the
No,
Spanish
Neither did I.
owned the
I didn't know
Philippines.
they had a colony over there.
Neither did I.
Well, that's interesting. We all
Learn
learn something new with our
every day.
podcast.
Yeah, there we go. Additionally, we went on a bit of an adventure to find the boiler suits today.
Oh,
That's
God,
what we
yes.
did today.
We've got through, how many cars have we got through in the
3
space
cars
of a
in the,
month?
in the space of a month, something like that. And we
Yes.
had boiler suits in the first one, and then they went missing, and then we didn't know where they went.
Mm,
But we found them today.
we did, but they were hidden in the deep dark depths of the old FITV
It was-
car.
Yes.
Anybody listening to this is going to go, why are they whittering on about boiler suits? 'Cause,
They
you
don't
know, for
realise how
goodness sake,
important boiler suits are, though. It's
they
so
are
cold.
essential.
And they're
Absolutely
padded and
essential.
waterproof. Carl hasn't actually had an
I'm yet
experience
to
in
wear
one yet.
one, but people have been recommending them and saying that I need to be wearing one when I'm going
The
out and
only
about.
problem is with the boiler suit is flexibility.
Yeah,
I find
I feel-
it's quite
yeah.
constrictive sometimes. But they're good for boats and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
So in 2015, I think it was, Sophie and Paul went to do the toothfish verification down on Five Pass. It was not a very nice day, and I said to them, "Put on the boiler suits." And they go, "No, we're all right. We've just got our coat on. We'll be fine. Get your boiler suits on." Lucky they did. It started snowing while they were down there, and they
God.
said it was fantastic because it's like being in your own little duvet that's completely waterproof.
I love a good boiler suit. We
Yeah.
need
Yeah,
to get ones
I
that
need
fit.
to-
I find
yeah.
the ones we've got are
You were
very
saying that they're too tall.
Yes, they're for tall
Tall people.
like Thomas.
They fit you perfectly. don't they?
Yeah. Whereas Katie and I, we'd put them on and we'd be swamped in them. It's
Right,
quite
do you
funny.
need me before I need to run off?
No, I think.
We've
think
had enough
we
of
can-
Mrs.
yeah.
Phones
We've had
now, we
enough.
think.
Goodbye.
Let's all say goodbye. Bye, Mrs.
Bye.
Phone.
Goodbye, dear listener. I'm taking my microphone off now. You might hear me rustling in the background. There you go.
Right, moving swiftly on to the
Moving
blank end
swiftly
of the
on.
list.
To the blank end of the list, we've run out of topics. I was going to say about the HMS Glamorgan.
Yes, do.
Because that was I think Paula was saying it was the first thing that FITV covered.
It was the first
Wow.
Yes, and it's now come round again.
So how many years is that? Seven times? 7, 8?
Sorry.
8?
Years?
I'm going to pick my microphone up to you and say one of the first things we ever covered, did I say this last week, I think, was the HMS Glamorgan. They brought down this memorial and I interviewed the navigation officer in Inskip and also one of the officers on board, and it was just a wonderful experience for me, especially interviewing Ian, because I knew absolutely nothing about what had happened, and he had kindly prepared a load of questions for me to ask, which was brilliant. And then he was saying about the fact that when he saw this missile leave the battery and it was coming towards them, and he said, and I knew it was an exocet, so I started turning the ship because I could bounce it off the side, and very unprofessionally I just went, really? Really? How did that happen? But he was wonderful, and we have got the interview somewhere. Unfortunately, it was filmed on what Thomas likes to call the potato camera, and it was filmed very badly, and I crossed the line out to flop his image. I remember saying this last week. But it's a very, very interesting story. Very interesting story.
One to research.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ordeal by Exocet is Ian Inskip's book, if you want to get it.
Plug.
Very interesting.
Plug.
Plug.
On that note, Mrs. Phones is now
Wow.
off.
On that phone, she's on her way.
Taking my makeup.
Glamorous for the doctors.
Yes. Now, the only other thing that's happening this week is the Liberation Day, which is happening tomorrow.
Yes, that's the first time
Tell me about the Liberation Day, because I've not experienced it
ever
yet.
done it. It's a big day, and obviously it's celebrating the liberation of Stanley and the Falkland Islands from the Argentine military. But it's interesting. There's a big parade, and they all gather around the monument, and
A bit like the Queen's birthday parade and that.
Yes, it's good. But if you look through past films, videos that we've done of Liberation Day, we've had all sorts of weathers. I mean, remember one year, I wasn't here, but I've seen the footage of it where it was absolutely snowing, thick blizzard snow, and these poor guys have to stand still as part of the parade, and they're getting covered in stuff, and you think, God, they must be freezing.
How can you just stand there and all the snow cover you up?
Yeah, but
Awful.
hopefully tomorrow the weather won't be too bad,
Well,
so
it's
we'll
not
be
been
filming
too bad
that.
today. But who knows?
Yeah, so we'll film that tomorrow morning, and then it's a bank holiday for everyone in the islands, which is nice.
I was told in the shop that there'll be free food and free drinks somewhere.
Yes, at the FITV hall.
Yes.
I haven't actually been to one of those yet,
Have you not?
but it should be quite nice.
Well, I was like, there's free food, so I'll probably be there because anything for something free.
Can't say no to that.
Exactly.
No. Why not?
Now, listen, you probably are realising that we've run out of topics to talk about, so now we're just talking about the weather and food.
Now we're whittering on.
Now we're whittling on.
Oh God, this might be the shortest podcast
This
we've
might
ever
be
recorded.
the shortest one possible, and it's not a good outing for me being in charge.
Oh, good God.
But I'll quickly move on.
Recommendations.
Yes, I was going to quickly move on to recommendations.
And now I've got a face of shock now because I thought I haven't prepared anything to recommend. You know what? I will recommend this. Last night, and it sounds terrible, I only saw part of it, but I'm still going to recommend it. On the television was a film called The Blind Side.
I've seen that's been advertised.
Yes, and I caught half of it, and then I didn't manage to catch the rest of it. But it's a really, really good film, and it's about a guy who wants to take part in football, but he's a bit down and out, and he doesn't have a family and things like this, and this rich white family adopt him and take care of him and kind of teach him football.
Yeah.
And it's based on a true story. It's based on a book, and I think it's based on a true story. But it was really good. I only watched half of it because I got really tired. So if anyone knows how it ends, don't tell me. But that's my recommendation. What about you?
Do I have a recommendation?
Oh, here we go.
Now I'm on the spot.
Yeah,
what do
no
I
pressure.
recommend? What have I been watching?
Kyle recommends
I know what
you
you'd
get rid
recommend.
of your Android phone.
No, I know.
No, I don't. I definitely don't recommend that. What would I recommend?
We had a really interesting conversation last night when we went out to interview Elliot, who, aka Eliza, for the drag show. And afterwards, we were all sat around having a chat, and Carl was getting very passionate about one particular thing.
Comic-Con and gaming conventions, so I'm going to recommend that. If you have a chance to go to Comic-Con, and I think the next one is in October, but the next gaming convention in the UK is probably happening in the next few months. If you can go to one, go to it. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. Everyone gets dressed up in all kinds of fantastic costumes.
Do you have any photographs of you dressed up for Comic-Con? Because I'm thinking this could be a podcast thumbnail. Listener, if you'd like to see Carl dressed up as a character, I'm sure we can find a photograph.
I will see what I can find. There are definitely photos on Facebook somewhere.
And maybe the listener could guess who.
Yes, that would be good. Let us know if you think you know who I am. You probably will. I didn't go as anything too obscure.
Is it Pokemon related by any chance?
Yes, it's probably Pokemon related. There's probably I think I've done it a couple of times.
But you've been. How many times have you been to Comic-Con? You were saying
20 at least, probably more than that. It's a lot of fun. It's a good day out, especially if you're interested in pop culture or anything. It's got everything you could want: video games, movies, TV stars, movie stars, people dressed up, people being friendly and taking pictures and giving hugs and all sorts.
And they do question and answer
sessions. Panels where you can learn about how to do art better, you can learn how to make costumes, or you can just talk to people from Doctor Who about what's it like to be on Doctor Who and blah, 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 blah. It's a very good day out. It's very, very interesting. Would go into more detail right now, but I don't feel like we have the time.
No, we could turn this podcast into a Comic-Con.
Yes, let's do that. That sounds fun. But yes, that's our recommendations for the week. I'm not going to say Thomas's one because I disagree with it. And I would do a Would You Rather, but I don't have a topic for Would You Rather either. I guess Hannah does.
I do not. Sorry, that was a very, very long... I don't really have a Would You Rather. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to think about it.
It's fine. We've got, what, 20 minutes now? That's
more than enough.
We'll sum it up now. God, can I remember how to sum it up?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yes, that was our podcast, Meanwhile in the Falklands. If you would like to see...
Sorry, this has been very slipshod, to say the least.
I was not prepared for this when I came on.
This wasn't in Carl's job description when he signed up for the job at FITV. But
we are currently on week 433 of Falklands in Focus, which is our show on FITV that we do weekly news. I'm just mumbling now. You can catch it on KTV channel 855. There we go.
HD,
full-blown high definition, or on our website, which is fitv.co.fk.
If you'd like to listen to more episodes of our podcast, you can.
You can find us on SoundCloud, or you can find us on iTunes, and anywhere else you can find podcasts, probably.
On our YouTube as well.
On our YouTube.
FITV. I think it's FITV or FITV News, one of the two.
I've loyally messed that one up.
Oh, don't worry,
well.
it's okay.
It's fine.
And you can also rate Carl as his his skills of controlling the podcast.
I need more practice, but yeah. But
hey
anyway, we'll sign off now and say goodbye.
Yes, and we shall see you next week.
See you next week.
Well, we won't see you. You'll hear us next week when we whitter on about more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodbye.